Hello, Mr. Allsop here.
And Mr. Baxter?
We're going to be talking about the really positive topic of the Black Death today.
Yeah, start with a good one, aren't we?
Yeah, start as you need to go on.
Why not?
So, Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
do you know anything about the Black Death? What springs to mind when I say those two lovely words?
Well, I don't know too much because I didn't do history to a great degree. My history teacher was a bit of a monster, really, so that sort of put me off. But all I know, or what I think I know, is it was sort of carried by rats, or certainly rats didn't help the problem.
Right.
And that's basically it. I couldn't tell you when it is, what happened, so hopefully you're going to enlighten us all.
Well, hopefully, yeah, I can do that. You're right, really. Rats were involved. It was this idea, we don't know for definite, but we think that rats were brought over on a boat from China, where the plague, or the Black Death, as it's commonly known in this instance, where it originated from China, brought over these fleas, carried the disease, infected a load of people, and then it spread all across Europe, across Britain, Europe, everywhere, and had a massive, devastating effect. It was a disease, essentially, that killed almost 40% of our population in Britain, almost 200 a day.
Just say that again, 40%.
40%.
Nearly half of everyone in our country died. Okay, that's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot. And in 1348, which is when it was, 200 people a day were dying in London. And you think the size of London back then would have been a lot smaller.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess what I want to know is why did so many people die? Because 200 people a day for, I imagine, a prolonged period of time, that's a lot. So
yeah, of course it is.
You're going to say the main reason was these fleas on rats?
Yeah, well, yes, but they didn't know that. You already knew more than they did back then about the disease. Even though you said your history teacher was a monster, you already knew more because they didn't know what caused disease. They didn't understand that germs, bacteria, virus, whatever you want to call it, they didn't know that caused disease. They had some weird and wonderful ideas, and the most common one was that God sent disease as a punishment.
Okay, right.
Completely fit in.
But not going to church on a Sunday.
Yeah, if you didn't go to church, if you didn't obey what the priest or whatever, or the Pope, as it would have been at the time, said you to do, then you would go to hell, or you would be punished before that with disease. But that wasn't the only thing they believed. They had some more rational thought behind this. Those of you who are on the history course already, you'll have heard someone called Galen, Claudius Galen.
Sounds like he'd have a good moustache.
Well, he had a great beard.
Did he? Okay.
As all,
I'm taking a point there.
All great people in history have a great beard. And he was a doctor that was around thousands of years ago, thousands of years before. Right. And he believed...
What was he saying?
He believed in the theory of opposites. Okay. So there were four humours, they're called. So, black
get
bile,
too technical.
Black bile, yellow bile, phlegm, and blood. And if these things were out of balance in your body, that would make you ill.
Right.
And you had to put them back. So if you had too much blood, you would be bled, and that would make you better, they believed.
Right.
And it's slightly more rational than God sending disease.
Slightly, not a lot, but
it's obviously a load of rubbish. However, there is one last logical or more logical thought, which is the idea of miasma, which is dirty air or bad air.
Okay.
So that's
what they thought at the time?
Yeah, they did have that idea. It wasn't as sort of common or believed as Galen's ideas and God. But, however, still didn't know that germs cause disease. Simple as that. That's why so many people died.
Okay, so because I guess a logical person would say, well, obviously people were dying in their numbers day after day. Why were the doctors so useless, you could say?
Well, basically because they based their treatments on Galen's ideas and on miasma. So, like I said, if they were ill, they would bleed them, they would burst the boils that...
Is that not a good thing to do?
Well, no, because if you think about it, if you cut yourself, you're just going to lose blood, it's going to make you feel weak, it's going to make you feel tired. The less blood you've got in you, the less...
I guess it also have more chance of spreading the disease if all your boils are bursting.
Exactly, yeah, it's letting the germs out.
Right.
Lovely time to be alive. And also, to get rid of the miasma, they would put sweet-smelling things in the room and things like that to try and stop it spreading, but obviously we know now that's not how disease is transmitted.
Right, okay. Well, what about the government then? Because surely it's in their best interest not for their population to completely die.
Well, they tried, okay? They tried to introduce some form of quarantine, which is where you isolate people by stopping church services and things like that, stopping large gatherings of meeting, but... because the church was so powerful back then and people were so in touch with their local
Far
priests.
more religious, weren't they?
Yeah. People would much rather listen to what the church was trying to say than the government or the king, okay? The church had too much power and essentially people would just prayed themselves to death.
Wow.
Would be a grim.
I tell you what.
Would
What
be
a
a
summary!
grim line.
What a summary! They went to church, got the disease, and died.
Very much.
That's what you're telling me.
Very much so. Yeah. Not a great time to be alive.
Wow. Very good. Okay. Well, I feel like I've learnt a bit today.
Good.
That's not too bad. All right. The Black Death. Very positive. Actually, just before we finish, what were the symptoms? What was the worst thing that happened to your body? Because that's what's on I want to know.
Well, okay. Well, to be fair, I missed that out. Quite important bit, really. Fevers, massive boils would be the bubonic plague, if you've heard of that. So big buboes, massive boils.
They're
swell up,
boils, that's what they're called.
size of
Buboes.
tennis balls, and then explode. And pus and everything all around you. That's
Wow.
disgusting.
I imagine that'd be quite painful.
Yeah.
That's how they die. Okay, very good. Right, the Black Death.
Yeah, that concludes this wonderful, exciting, very positive podcast about the Black Death.